Welcome to the Fantasy Football Prophet Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprophet.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Prophet Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, usually joined here by Jeff Torrey, but Jeff is off today, so I'm going to be doing a little rundown of the Week 3 action on a solo show here. Try to get you through all the games. So I'm just going to get this thing started, just go through game by game, some of my thoughts and who performed well and who didn't. So Bears-Falcons. Bears win 30-26 after the Falcons blew another lead. This is the second 15-point fourth quarter lead they've blown now in back-to-back weeks. It's the first time that's ever happened. And yeah, they're 0-3 now, and Chicago is a surprising 3-0. I mean, really all helped by two huge comebacks, one against the Falcons here today, and then in week 1 against the Lions. So the Bears did turn to Foles after Trubisky wasn't effective early on. Foles goes for 16-29, 188 yards, 3 touchdowns, threw a pick, which was close to being a touchdown too. So that was an interesting play there. On the ground, Tariq Cohen goes down with what is to believe to be an ACL injury, so that's disappointing to hear. Montgomery goes 14 of 45, didn't do too much on the ground. The story is through the air, really, for Chicago. Allen Robinson bounces back in a big way with 10 catches, 123 yards, and a touchdown. There's a reason why I put him as a top 10 wide receiver to start the year. This guy's good, and maybe with Foles here, it's even going to be better for him. Anthony Miller did catch a touchdown there in the fourth. Only had 2 catches, but it was 2 for 41. And then Jimmy Graham, 6 for 60, got himself 2 touchdowns, which is, Jimmy's catching touchdowns here. This could be a very good option at the tight end, possibly, if he's going to be, that involved in the red zone. So, good comeback for Chicago. We'll see. They're probably going to go with Foles again next week, I would think. And this should be, maybe the passing offense will be even improved. Falcons side of things, Matt Ryan, 238, touchdown, a pick. Not a great day. But Ridley gets himself 5 for 110 with Julio out. Russell Gage gets knocked out of that game, so he only had 2 for 26. So really, other than Ridley's 5 for 110, there wasn't much there through the air. Todd Gurley ran the ball 14 times, 80 yards and a touchdown. Brian Hill got himself a nice long touchdown run, 9 for 58. But Falcons blow another lead there. They got some things to figure out there. Bills beat the Rams 35-32. This is another one where the Bills actually blew a 25-point lead. Rams took the lead before Buffalo came back and won it there at the end. Josh Allen, which was a kind of maybe a phantom pass interference call too, but hey, they got it done after that. Josh Allen just continues to throw touchdowns. 4 touchdowns on the day, 311 yards, only 8 yards on the ground today, which was much less than you're used to having from him, but he did get 1 rushing touchdown. It was Devin Singletary in the backfield, no Zach Moss today, so Singletary 13 carries, 71 yards, caught 4 balls for 50, so a nice 121-yard effort, but didn't get in the end zone, came really close on 1, but wasn't able to get it done there. Cole Beasley, 6 catches, 100 yards. Diggs only had 4 for 49, but he did give himself a touchdown. And then Tyler Kroft got 2 touchdowns, 4 for 24. John Brown got knocked out of that thing, so he had no catches. So if you started him, it's always tough luck when they go down with injuries. Rams side of things, they lose here. Goff goes 22 of 32, 321, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Darrell Henderson looked really good today. 20 carries, 114 yards and a touchdown. Malcolm Brown only 7 for 19. So after week 1, it looked like this was going to be Malcolm Brown's backfield possibly. And now it's turned to Darrell Henderson. We'll have to see what happens when Cam Akers comes back from injury, if that's going to change anything. Cooper Kupp, 9 catches, 170 yards and a touchdown. Woods, 5 for 74 and a touchdown. Also ran for 30. So good efforts there from both of the top receivers. Higbee only gets himself 2 for 40. Not getting the touchdowns like he was the past weeks, but that'll come back, I'm sure. Browns beat the Redskins 34-20. Browns are now 2-1, and it's really behind the running attack. That's what's boosting them up here. Nick Chubb 19 for 108, 2 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt 16 carries, 46 yards. The yards per carry wasn't as great for Hunt, but this is a great rushing attack. Baker Mayfield throws for only 156, but he gets himself 2 touchdowns. They just don't need to throw it that much. Just going to be running the ball. Beckham 4 for 59, Landry 4 for 36, Hooper 3 for 25. Not a lot there, but they got to win. Washington, Dwayne Haskins 224 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. Terry McLaurin was 4 for 83. Could have had probably a touchdown there, but Haskins just couldn't find him. And it went to Dontrell Inman, gets himself 2 of the touchdowns today instead, which was disappointing for McLaurin owners with, you'll take the 83 yards, but you wanted a much better game than that. Logan Thomas, 4 for 31. So if you're looking to start him, he's, numbers aren't there. Targets are there. Numbers aren't showing up yet. Antonio Gibson only got himself 9 carries on the day, turned it into 49 yards and a touchdown. He's been good. I feel like when he gets an opportunity, it's just this team's just not very good. And it's going to show sometimes in what they can do fantasy-wise. Titans gift themselves a 31-30 win over Minnesota. They go to 3-0, but Minnesota goes to 0-3. Gostkowski kicks himself, I think, a 55-yarder there to win that game with just under 2 minutes left. Tannehill, no touchdowns on the day. And a lot of people went to Tannehill this week after he's been playing pretty decent and doesn't get you a touchdown. 321 yards, but he did throw a pick as well. Derrick Henry really showed up. 26 carries, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then on the receiving side of things, it was Raymond with 3 catches for 118. After that, with A.J. Brown out, wasn't really much else. I mean, Davis was okay, 5 for 69. Jonnu Smith, 5 for 61, doesn't get himself any touchdowns, so the day's not as great there. For the Vikings, despite, they get the loss, but at least Cousins was a little better this week. 251 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did still have the 2 picks, which is disappointing. But the big story is Dalvin Cook with a monster day for him. Actually, too big. There's 2 stories here. Dalvin Cook's one of them. 22 carries, 181 yards, and a touchdown. Just a great day. Caught 2 balls for 18 yards. But on the receiving side of things, Adam Thielen gets himself 3 catches, 29 yards, and a touchdown. But he was just completely overshadowed by the rookie Justin Jefferson. 7 for 175 and a touchdown. And I know Jeff's probably disappointed he doesn't get to do this show, because Jeff was one of the biggest proponents of Justin Jefferson in the preseason and the offseason. And it only took week 3 for that to shake out and Jefferson to look like he belongs. And that's a huge day for him. And we should, not going to see that every week, but we should definitely see him involved in this offense going forward. Patriots get the 36-20 win over the Raiders. But fantasy-wise, it wasn't as great of an output for Cam Newton, 162 yards throwing, and he had 1 touchdown, 1 pick, only 27 yards on the ground, not as much as he had been doing. And the receivers, there just wasn't anything to go to the receivers at all here today. Rex Burkhead led the team with touchdowns, with 2 rushing touchdowns, 49 yards rushing, but he also led the team in receiving with 7 for 49 and a touchdown receiving as well. N'Keal Harry, 2 for 34. Bird, 3 for 27. Edelman disappointed with a 2 for 23. Sony Michel gets himself 9 carries and turns it into 117 yards with a 48-yarder in there. They scored 36 points. It just doesn't seem like the offensive output was out there, at least for fantasy-wise. But hey, they really don't care about that. They get the win. Derek Carr gets 261 yards through 2 touchdowns. Josh Jacobs, not as big of a day today. 71 yards on the ground, 12 through the air, no touchdowns. Hunter Renfrow gets 6 for 84 and a touchdown. Really not much else there. Darren Waller was the big disappointment. He came into the game with an injury, but that's not really the story here. It's just 2 for 9. That was it. That's all they could muster. And after how good he was last week, it was disappointing to see that. 49ers against the Giants. 49ers, despite all the injuries, just dominated the Giants here, 36-9. This was easy for him. Mullins threw for 343 yards and a touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, showed something there, 5 for 70, ran the ball 3 times for 31 yards and got a touchdown rushing the ball. Jeff Wilson got 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving, 1 rushing. He only had 12 carries for 15 yards, but hey, when you get touchdowns, it's all that matters. He did catch 3 balls for 54. McKinnon got 14 carries, turned it into only 38 yards, but saves your day with a touchdown, and he had 3 for 39 through the air. So next week they should get Kittle back. We'll see, how that goes. If he should get involved with this thing, is really not much going from any of the pass catchers too much other than Ayuk. So for the Giants, just ugly here. Daniel Jones, 179 yards and a pick. He was the leading rusher with 5 for 49. Devontae Freeman in his first action with the Giants gets 5 carries, 10 yards. Deion Lewis, 1 carry, no yards, 1 catch for 10 yards. Ugly day all around. Slayton, 3 for 53. Tate, 5 for 36. And Evan Ingram, 3 for 22, too. This is not a good Giants team. It's I don't know. I don't know about playing Freeman. Hopefully you didn't play Freeman yet this week. You're going to see what he was, but we'll see if he gets more involved or what. But that was just ugly day. Bengals and Eagles end in a tie here. So Joe Burrow, 312 yards, 2 touchdowns, looks pretty good there. for only his third game. Tyler Boyd was the big benefactor today, 10 catches, 125 yards. A.J. Green, only 5 for 36, still not getting it going. But then T. Higgins gets himself 5 catches, 40 yards, but 2 touchdowns is the big story there for T. Higgins. Good seeing the rookie get involved there. Joe Mixon on the ground, just nothing happening. 17 carries, 49 yards, and caught 2 balls for 16. He's really honestly been a major disappointment here through 3 weeks. And I mean, he started last year really, slowly too, so we'll see if that changes. For the Eagles, Wentz, 225 yards, touchdown, 2 picks. Not a great day for Carson Wentz at all. He ran the ball, though, for 65 yards and touchdown, so if you did happen to play him, he saved you in fantasy with that part of it. Miles Sanders gets himself 18 carries, 95 yards. Dallas Goedert went down with an injury early. Looks like he's going to probably miss some weeks here. And because there's just not many people to throw the ball through. It's Greg Ward leads the team there with 8 for 72 and a touchdown. I mean, Ertz did it 7 for 70, but just not. Eagles aren't playing well. Just not playing well right now. Steelers beat the Texans 28-21 today. Roethlisberger throws himself 237 yards, 2 touchdowns. He spread those went to Ebron, 5 for 52, touchdown. Juju, 4 for 43 and a touchdown. Connor, 4 for 40. James Washington, 5 for 36. Deontay Johnson got knocked out of that game, so he had 2 targets, no catches, nothing there. On the ground, it's all Connor for the most part, 18 carries, 109 yards. But McFarland, in the very limited amount he got to work, he looked pretty decent, 6 for 42, and one of those being a 20-yard rush. So we'll see if I don't know. Pittsburgh doesn't seem to like to, have a committee-type backfield. It's usually one guy. I think it'll stay this kind of a split. Texans go to 0-3 here. It started off a little better. It looks like maybe they were going to be able to do something, but no, still just can't get it going. Watson, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, throws himself a pick. Randall Cobb, 4 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown. Fuller, 4 for 54 and a touchdown. Brandon Cooks, 3 for 23. On the ground, David Johnson, 13 carries, only 23 yards, and a touchdown. This offense just can't get it going, and it's just not good right now for the Texans. Colts beat up on the Jets 36-7. If you had the Colts defense, you were loving today here. But on the offensive side of things, Rivers throws a touchdown, 217 yards. You're not playing Rivers at this point, but at least he was able to make. I guess the offense was decent enough, but not really. Again, a lot there. Jonathan Taylor, 13 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Hilton, 3 for 52. Mo Alley-Cox, 3 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Nahim Heinz did show back up today after just not being involved last week with 61 total yards today, but that's on 4 catches there, 7 carries, 21 yards. Not a lot there from the Colts, but I mean a lot more than what you're going to see from the Jets because this is just ugly. There's no need to play any Jets player right now. It's just not something you're doing. Darnold, 168 yards, a touchdown, 3 picks. Gore, 15 for 57. Gore you'd be desperate to play him. Braxton Berrios, 4 for 64 and touchdown. Might even be the only guy you play here. It's just not looking good here for the Jets at all. You want to stay away from them in fantasy. Panthers beat the Chargers 21-16. Here we go. Teddy Bridgewater, 235 yards and a touchdown. DJ Moore only had 2 catches, but at least they were for 65 yards. Boosted that day. Robbie Anderson, 5 for 55. The one touchdown here goes to Mike Davis, actually. Had 8 catches for 45 yards. He ran the ball 13 times for 46 yards. So he had a decent fantasy day there if you played him, in Christian McCaffrey's absence. For the Chargers, Justin Herbert throws 330 yards, a touchdown, a pick. Keenan Allen, 13 catches, 132 yards, and a touchdown. Big day for Keenan Allen, 19 targets. The rookie really likes to throw him the ball. So if you're a Keenan Allen owner, you want Justin Herbert to remain the starting quarterback here for the Chargers. Austin Eckler, there we go. Getting involved in that passing game. 11 catches for 84 yards off 11 targets. It's a big, big day for him through the air. He did run the ball 12 times for 59 yards and a touchdown as well. So you got some, great production out of Eckler. Joshua Kelly, everyone's in love with Josh Kelly right now, but turned only 8 for 43 today. Not a lot there. He still is the second guy here, so we might need to slow down a little bit on the Josh Kelly love. But I think he's a good player. He's going to be involved, but it was starting to get maybe a little overboard. So it might be good to dial that back a little bit. Bucks beat the Broncos 28-10. Brady 297 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Good game for him. So Mike Evans catches 2 touchdowns. So what was the other week? Mike Evans caught 1 pass for 1 yard and a touchdown. Today, 2 catches, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just a very interesting stat line there for Mike Evans. It's not involved outside of the goal line for some reason, but the leading receiver in yards today was Scotty Miller with 3 for 83. Godwin had 5 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown. Gronk gets involved a little bit there. 6 catches, 48 yards. O.J. Howard, 3 for 49. On the ground, we kind of thought it would, turn to Fournette here today, but it did not. It went Jones, 13 carries compared to Fournette's 7. Jones turned it into 53 yards. Fournette turned it into 15. So can't really go with Fournette yet. It's not quite ready for him to take over that backfield. Maybe it won't be. For Denver, Driscoll, 176 yards, touchdown, a pick. Gordon, 8 carries, 26 yards. Not much going on. Judy, 5 for 55. Fant, 5 for 46. Patrick gets himself the touchdown. Ugly day for the Broncos. But probably going to be that way. I thought it would be a little better even with Driscoll. I thought I'd be able to sustain somewhat of an offense, but it just did not happen today. Lions, Cardinals. Lions get the win on a last-second field goal from Matt Prater there, 26-23. Stafford, 270 and 2 touchdowns. Adrian Peterson, it was just the Adrian Peterson show on the ground, 22 carries. He only had 75 yards out of it, but it's all him. Kerryon Johnson had 3. DeAndre Swift did not get a carry today. He had 1 catch for 19 yards, so man, I don't know if we even need to hold on to Swift anymore. It's hard to get rid of him, but not much happening from him. Galladay, 6 for 57 and a touchdown. Hawkinson, 4 catches, 53 yards. Marvin Jones, 3 for 51. And Jesse James, 3 for 28, and he gets himself a touchdown. For the Cardinals, so Kyler shows some of his just amazing ability, especially on that one touchdown run where he just, completely faked out Lions rookie corner there, Akuda, and just looked amazing on that. But and the bad thing here, he threw three picks today. He did have 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, but the 3 picks were killer for Arizona today. Hopkins, though, massive game, 10 for 137. No touchdowns, which would have been nice. The 2 touchdowns go to Andy Isabella, who had 4 for 47 and 2 touchdowns. Not many others involved in him. Larry Fitzgerald gets himself a catch for 0 yards. But Kenyon Drake, 18 carries, 73 yards, 1 catch, 6 yards, no touchdowns. You're still hoping for some more production from him. And then finally, Cowboys, Seahawks. Seahawks win it there, 38-31 with the touchdown to DK Metcalf. Russell Wilson is just insane right now. 315 yards, 5 touchdowns today. Just a massive game again for Wilson. Just an amazing start to the year for him. DK Metcalf caught 4 of those balls for 110 yards and a touchdown. Should have been 1 more, but just no presence at all to realize there's a guy right behind him. Ball gets knocked out of the back of the end zone. Touchback, no touchdown. Luckily for them, they still win the thing. But Tyler Lockett, so it really should have been a 6th touchdown for Wilson. Jeez. Tyler Lockett, massive game here. 9 catches, 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. Greg Olsen was involved there, 5 for 61. On the ground, Chris Carson, 14 carries, 64 yards. Left the game with that injury. I don't know exactly the extent. We'll see how that plays out. If he were to miss time, Carlos Hyde probably steps in there. Maybe, I don't know how much we like him, but it doesn't really matter at this point with his passing offense. For the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, 37 for 57, 472 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, but they do get the loss. Gallup was 6 for 138 and a touchdown. It went to Cedric Wilson, had 5 catches for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. Amari Cooper, 9 for 86. CeeDee Lamb, 5 for 65. People all over the board there catching balls. So Zeke didn't really do much on the ground today, 14 for 34, but he gets a touchdown. He did have 6 catches for 24 yards, so even in a very bad day, he at least makes it respectable for you. But Cowboys now drop to 1-2, but this offense still is this is a great offense. They just need to maybe stop somebody. They gave up, they won last week, but gave up 39 points, and they lose this week, giving up 38. They need to stop somebody. So basically. But all right, that will do it for today. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll go over some waiver wire pickups for now week 4. Head into week 4. Also do a little recap tomorrow on the game going on right now that's happening, which is Packers. Saints-Packers are actually up 13-7 right now, but I'll talk about that tomorrow. And also Chiefs-Ravens, which is tomorrow night. Talk to you guys later.